Start.
Good evening, distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. Yesterday, I witnessed a miracle. Really, it was a miracle. In the evening, I was returning from shopping. It started raining. So I stopped and stood in a shed on one side. Within a few minutes, I saw a woman passing by. She had no umbrella, no hat, nothing to protect herself from the rain. But there was no single wet hair on her head. I was surprised. Can any of you tell me why did the woman have no wet hair? Even there was a rain. It was
Maybe she was
raining
Can
cats
I?
and dogs.
Can I?
Yes.
Sunil, was she bald?
She was bald. Yeah.
Oh,
Same answer.
I think, yeah. All have read this joke. A warm welcome to meeting number 76 of the Gabbys International Toastmasters Club. I am Sunil Gupta, your Sergeant Arms for today's meeting. It's my duty to highlight some key points, some guidelines for the meeting. The meeting is scheduled for a duration of 2 hours. And I urge all of you to stay for the entire duration to get maximum benefit out of it. Please keep your videos on and audios off. However, you can turn on your audio when you are called or you need to speak. Regarding the topics of sex, religion, and politics, even though Toastmasters International doesn't put any restriction on speaking on these topics. At the Gabbys Toastmasters Club, we always request all the speakers, role takers, and any member who speak during the meeting, please be mindful and responsible and abstain from expressing any controversial views on these sensitive topics. Our club mission is to provide a positive and supportive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, let me hand over the stage to the presiding officer of the meeting, Toastmaster Jaspreet Kaur. Toastmaster Jaspreet Kaur is a post prevention of sexual harassment, POXO, protection of children from sexual offences trainer who helps build inclusive workplace. She is also a communication and workplace skills coach. Professionally, she is a CBSE English faculty who has helped more than 2,000 students ace their board exams. I think that's why you will find her always very disciplined and focused on her goals. Even when she faces distractions or challenges, she always exhibits commitment to her tasks and determination to complete them. Please help me welcome with a huge round of applause the presiding officer, Toastmaster Jaspreet Kaur. Over to you, Jaspreet.
Thank you very much, Sergeant at Arms Sunil Gupta. And a big round of applause for this very talented, very hardworking, very creative Sergeant at Arms who opens the meeting in with a different flavor every time. So kudos to you, Toastmaster Sunil Gupta, for that. And with this, I declare meeting number 76 of the Gabbys International Toastmasters Club to order. So Toastmasters and guests visiting Toastmasters, I don't think there are any right now. So I welcome all of you, all Toastmasters, all guests to this meeting today. And right at the beginning, I would like to welcome our reinstated member, Toastmaster Dr. Isha. She's not here, so I welcome her in absentia right now. And a big round of applause for her for joining back the family. And we have somebody very special today with whom we have old memories attached. That is Rashi Garg. Rashi, what you were telling us before the meeting. Now, please tell the others something about yourself. A quick 30 seconds introduction about yourself.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Hello, everyone. I'm Rashi Garg. I'm from Agra. And I have done this Gabbys course like 1.5 years back. And I have really gained a lot of confidence of public speaking. And because, again, I have to attend I've been like selected for an international meeting. And there also I have to deliver my 7-minute speech. So I was just wanting to update myself once again with the skills from all of you who are my mentors. And I'm really looking forward. So I had a connection with Smriti, so she had disconnected me today to have just be reconnected with all of you. And I'm really looking forward for your cooperation and your guidance mainly. And Samita ma'am, good evening. I think you were one of my mentors earlier. I remember.
Yes.
Like, yeah, so it's so good to see you, and I'm really so happy to meet everyone. And the amount of positivity what I get from you and the amount of like confidence which I get just by meeting you is so much sufficient for me to move forward in this plan again. Thank you
That's
so
so
much.
great to hear. And for the others, let me just add on over here the Speechcraft program that Rashi is talking of. All of us were part of that Speechcraft program,
Yeah.
whether it is Yogita or myself
Yes.
or the other people sitting here who are the coordinators of the Speechcraft program, Smruti and all. So the ties are coming from there.
Yes. We are
Now, talking
connected.
about speechcraft, I would want to talk about something else, but I would want somebody else to talk about it. Priya is there. Priya, can you come up on camera? I want to ask you something. I want you to tell something to the others. Priya Singh, is this our own Priya Singh?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I'm actually, I don't mind coming on camera, but I'm not in a location which is
Never mind. I just want
okay.
you to share with the others. Now, this Saturday, we had a special meeting, a joint meeting with BRICS Online Toastmasters Club. So I want Priya to share the experience. What exactly was the experience? A quick 30 seconds, Priya.
Thank you, Jaspreet, for this wonderful opportunity. It was an experience which I had never experienced before. It was an eye opener, and you could see the vibe that we feel in Gabby's. I found the same extension when we connected with Toastmasters Club, which was a relatively new one, and had the same kind of value system, the same kind of philosophy, similar kind of community there, and felt very included, very encouraged, and motivated to be a part of the BRICS Linkers meeting. And I really appreciate the opportunity that we were given as role takers and participants. It was really a very engaging session, very enriching, and I really look forward to many more.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, so this is a linkers meeting that we had. Now, adding on to this, I would want to share another experience. So this last week was Power Pack. Saturday, we had the linkers meeting where all of us were there. And Sunday, I, the president of Gabbys International, along with the vice president education of Gabbys International, we visited an offline club, that too in Delhi, Delhi Toastmasters Club. And what a meeting it was. The theme of the meeting was magic, and witches and fairies and Harry Potter and whatnot. And we could actually see the table topic section happening where the table topic master had kept on the table a few potions. Drink, get this power, and deliver the topic. Open the treasure chest, take out the topic, deliver the topic. Or magic
Wow.
wand on the, that was great. That was a different experience altogether. So this is what Toastmasters spirit is. Dr. Ralph C. Smedley did not even realize what magic he was creating 100 years back. What when we were there and they were in awe with us that, okay, online, you are sitting here, you are connected with Bangalore people. How does this happen? And then you are three clubs. So Gabbys is a family of three clubs. So this was awe attraction from both ends, whether it was linkers or the next day over there. That is what Toastmasters is all about. Now, another very important thing. We all know the importance of a marriage or a grand birthday celebration in the family, isn't it? So much to do. Performances are being prepared, dresses are being finalized, food, what is going to be there, invites, return gifts, so on and so forth. So that is happening within Gabbys as well. You can see our background. It is bubbling with musical notes, celebration, whatnot. So that is what Gabbys is all about. You can see it in the background. We are going to have the Gabbys Day where all this music, fun, ramp walk, exciting games, humorous speeches, you name it, we have it. The agenda is getting filled in and day out. So all those, we can keep on talking endlessly about it. But the ones who cannot, who are just listening, so just talk to the SA team, and then next meeting, you will also be bubbling with information and excitement the way we are right now. And so that is the Gabbys Day celebration, which is a kind of, wedding in the family happening, sleeping, waking up. We are talking about this, thinking about this, planning and discussing about this. And we are planning the return gift as well. And the return gift is the newsletter, the Gabbys newsletter. So see to it that you figure into that. We are open for write-ups from everybody. Make your presence felt, be there, and yes, be there as part of the celebration as well. Many of you must have received the invite. If you have not, you will. So see to it that you are there with us, cheering everybody, participating, and go back home with that beautiful newsletter as a return gift, which you refer to for a long time to come. So I can keep going on and on, but let's move on with the next part of the meeting as well. Now, so today the meeting talks about something. Okay, agenda, the theme of the meeting, I will leave for the Toastmaster of the day to announce. I'll not take that charm and thunder away. Everything I'm not going to reveal today. So the Toastmaster of the day would do that. And the Toastmaster of the day today is Toastmaster Ashwini. She's a passionate Toastmaster working as a manager for corporate partnerships at Impact Guru. She is a passionate chess enthusiast and loves immersing herself in thought-provoking podcasts. She's joined Toastmasters to refine her communication skills and connect with inspiring individuals like all of us. Over to you, Toastmaster Ashwini. Go ahead, create your magic.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jaspreet, for that warm introduction. Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. I'm definitely very thrilled to be a Toastmaster of the day for tonight's meeting. Let me start with a simple little story that I heard from my peers. There was this one boy in a small village who was picking up uh, all the plastic wrapper that he could find on his way and putting it in the dustbin. And he used to do this every day. And all his friends followed him. They started taking the initiative of picking up the plastic and putting it in dustbin. And the entire school was so clean after some days. And followed by that, the entire village started following him this. That's how one tiny action turned into tremendous change. And that's the magic of our theme today, tiny to tremendous. Tiny to tremendous. This reminds us that we don't need to do something huge to make a difference. A tiny step done consistently can lead to something amazing. Think about your own life. You did a tiny decision that led to a big outcome. And was there a small compliment or a gesture that meant so much to you just by saying thank you? Or simply a choice that completely changed your path? Maybe your career choice. Maybe you doing a small donation to an NGO. Our journey in Toastmasters also started very tiny. I'm sure all of you agree here with me. Maybe with a nervous hello or a short table topic, or and or maybe not showing up. But here we are today celebrating the growth. We are celebrating the growth by all the things you have heard from our PO. I just don't want to make this meeting where I give a lot of GAN. So let's make this meeting more interactive. So I want to put all of you on the spotlight with this one thought in your mind, and I want all of you to engagingly interact and open up, right? So this is the question: what is the tiny habit that has made a big difference in your life? Maybe it can be you waking up early or practicing meditation. Please do volunteer and let me know your thoughts. Any thoughts? Anyone? What is that one habit you took up and that has made a lot of change in your lifestyle? Yeah, I see Toastmaster Samita's hand raise. Please do unmute and yeah.
Yeah, so that one habit that has made a huge change is I jot down my gratitude for the day. And yeah, whenever I feel low, I just, go back to the pages and see every single day there was something. Maybe it was small, maybe sometimes it was big. That brings a change in my attitude that things are not going as I wanted to go. I'm not happy about certain things. But then when I look at the gratitude journal, I feel, oh, I have been happy for so many things. I have been grateful for so many things. So that one gratitude journal is a habit which I felt brought a huge change. I don't feel sad anymore.
Wow, that's so sweet. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Samita. I don't think I can't agree more on this because this has really helped me, right? So this helps you actually put your thoughts on the paper and see what's happening in your brain. So thank you for bringing that up. And I see Toastmaster Akib's hand raise. Toastmaster Akib, any thoughts?
So I've been in Rohit Sharma's shoes for a very long time. I keep forgetting stuff. So and I used to mention ye oh when I would talk, and that was really challenging, especially when I had to write exams, when I had to compete with a lot of people who were smart. The one small habit which I started, how to improve on my recall power. I
Hmm.
let every time I go on bed before I'm about to sleep, I take out 10-15 minutes and I recall everything that has happened from I woke up and till I slept. All the good things, all the bad things, everything. So
Yeah.
just recalling. It's trying to remember if I had learned something that day or if I forgot something, if I made a major blunder, if there is this one formula which I forgot, but then I ended up scoring low in my exam. But now that I've recalled, all of those were coming back. And that particular habit, which I started in 2014, 13, 14, and I did for almost 6 years from then on. That really helped me become uh, a, somebody who can remember stuff, somebody who can uh, quickly think, quickly recall stuff, and that's really important. I've been struggling again these days because I don't get much time to do these practice and all. I think I should go back to those tiny habits and start memorizing.
Wow. Thank you so much, Akib, for sharing that. And I think from your journey, we can understand that consistency is the key. So even when we have figured out, I think following that consistently really helps. So thank you so much for taking up. With the interest of time, we'll move on with the meeting. For the benefit of guests, let me quickly explain the structure of the meeting. The general Toastmaster meeting is divided into three parts. The first part is where we have prepared speeches, where we have speakers prepared with the speech and they come and deliver. The second part is where we have a table topic section, and today we have a interesting meeting where we are going to have a table topic marathon. So where you all get a chance to have your deliver your table topics. Then the third part is where we have our evaluators evaluating the table topics and the prepared speeches. So with that, let's quickly start the meeting with the first section. So before I introduce the speaker, let me quickly introduce the timer for today. We have Toastmaster Kala taking up the role of a timer. A quick introduction about Kala. Kala is working as a superintendent in water board. She loves to play badminton. Her passion is attending Toastmasters. That is so sweet, Kala. So please explain your role as a timer, Kala, and over to you.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Today I'm playing the role of timer. Being a timer, I'm going to note down the time of each role takers. Today we have three main segments: prepared speech, table topics, and evaluation section. For prepared speech session, we have time limit of 18 to 22 minutes. For 80 minutes, I'll show green, and 20 yellow, and 22 I'll show red card. For table topics, time limit is 1 to 2 minutes. For 1 minute, I'll show green, 1.5 yellow, and at 2 minutes, I'll show red card. For evaluation session, the time limit is 2 to 3 minutes. For 2 minutes, I'll show green, 2.5 yellow, and at 3 minutes, I'll show red card. Thank you and all the best to all of you. Thank you and over to you, TMOD.
Thank you so much, Kala, for the quick introduction of your role. Now let's get started with our first section, that's our prepared speech section. So we have Toastmaster Jaspreet, who will be delivering our speech. So quick introduction about Toastmaster Jaspreet. Toastmaster Jaspreet is a posh and POCSO trainer who helps build inclusive workplace. She's also a communication and workplace skills coach. She is a CBSE English faculty who has helped more than 2,000 students ace their board exams. With that, let me quickly check if we have our evaluator Samita. Yes, I see Samita. Uh, and let me quickly talk about her path and the project. So Toastmaster Jaspreet is attempting our level 5 under project number 1 under the path presentation mastery. The project name is Prepare to Speak Professionally. The objective of this project is for the member to practice developing and presenting a longer speech. Timer, please note the time duration is 18 to 22 minutes. Yeah. With that, Toastmaster Jaspreet on the topic, talk to them before the world does. Talk to them before the world does, Toastmaster Jaspreet. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. And greetings of the day to one and all present over here. Just raise your hand if at any point of time a child has asked you a question which gave you the sweat. You looked at the ceiling, you looked at the floor, or you simply picked up your phone and tried to avoid the conversation. Please raise your hand if ever that has happened. It happens. It happens with all of us. I'll just share an experience with you. Couple of years back, I visited my friend and we were there to spend the day together. And she said she had to go to the supermarket, and we just walked down to the supermarket. Her 10-year-old daughter went along with us. Out of nowhere, the two of us were talking and she was picking up things from here and there, and her phone was in the hands of her daughter. Out of nowhere did the girl who had this phone in her hand, "Mama, tell me one thing. How do babies come in the tummies?" in the supermarket, topmost pitch of her voice, I was looking at my friend. Her expression said, I could crack the toughest job interview, but how do I answer this? There was a lapse of couple of moments in between, and she said, child, we'll go home and I'll talk to you about this. And do you know what happened during that gap? The girl had the phone in her hand. She said, no need. I've Googled it. Now, can you think of the expressions of the mother? This made me realize. This made me realize how much it is important for us to talk to them before the world does. The world could be this, the world could be the big bad world around us. It could be my child, it could be your child, it could be anyone else's child. Maybe my own child, my nephew, my niece, or somebody who's younger sibling, or maybe a student in your class or your neighbor's child who feels like approaching you. We need to talk to them. We need to be available to them, because when we are not available, that is where the problem happens. That is where they start trying to fidget around with things. Now, what happens with these questions is we try to dodge these questions. We try to dismiss these questions. Or at times, we try to totally avoid by saying, okay, when the time is right, I will tell you. Do you think the child understands this description? Where we create a vacuum, where we create a hollow space, is where the world seeps in unwantingly. Now, a child carries this to school, right? A school bag. What does it carry? It has many things into it. It has certain books. It has a tiffin box. It has stationery, things we can see and we can understand. But there are things we don't understand which are not visible. The worry, anxiety, guilt, confusion, dilemma. We don't address, and this keeps on becoming heavy on their back. That is when they start distancing, because they tried connecting with us. We did not connect. Now, if supposing there's a child, maybe your sibling, maybe because we have different age groups sitting over here in the meeting room, wants to write, because at times they don't have the courage to speak. They want to write something to you. Can you tell me what note would the child write to you? What do you think the child will write? Can we read this? Can we read this? Yes. If I tell you something, promise you won't get angry. This is what the child is afraid of. We'll get angry, we'll dismiss him, or worst case scenario, we will judge him. That is what we very simply do. We tease him, we make fun of him, or we compare the child with the other children. And the best weapon that parents seem to have is better focus on your studies and your marks. Am I right or not? Please say yes or no so that I move ahead further. We need to resonate on this.
Yeah, I think.
All right. Thank you so very much. Now, I want to share my own personal example. My dad, he was a very successful businessman, very well-educated, qualified. But in those days, not qualified into any kind of parenting. There were no parenting tips available. But he couldn't share those parenting tips with us. What he did was, he simply shared his time and his conversation. The two most important things with us. And when I say us, I don't mean myself and my two brothers. We were a joint family. So all the cousins, my dad was the eldest of his brothers. So all the children, they were younger to me, all children at the end of the day sitting next to my dad. What did he talk to us? He talked about his day. He talked about politics according to whatever we could understand. He talked about his business trips, whatever, happened there. Somebody cheated him, somebody tried to tell a lie, sometimes he felt bad, sometimes something made him happy. He told about that. He even told us about movies, the romancing that used to happen in the movies. So that is the silver screen. What is the logic behind that? Does that silver screen presentation fit into our real lives? He talked about everything, good experiences, bad experiences, dot, 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 learnings. His learnings, which were being passed on to us in such an unfiltered manner. And the approach was not, no, you will not understand this. He saw to it that we understood it. If we had a question, he had an answer to that. And that gave us the confidence, the strength, the courage to talk, to ask without the fear of being scolded, the biggest fear that children have, and then to be judged. Without any of those fears, we could talk. And today, when I look back, and I feel most of my personality development happened at that time. I developed the confidence to speak. I developed the confidence to face any situation, come what may, did not have that kind of, guilt within me that, oh, maybe I did something. That was the superpower that he gave us without any apps, without any psychology books, without any counselors. It was just being available each day, day after day, is what worked well for us. And that is what children want. In today's time, what we are doing is we are giving a very protected parenting to the child. But we are missing out on the connection. We have double incomes in the family with parents working, nuclear families. The connection is gone. We do not have the time to talk to the child. At times, the child has a problem. At times, the child wants a confirmation, a validation that if I require it, are they there? Doesn't want the answer actually, just wants to see how much are we into it. Are we listening or are we not listening? Okay, let's do an activity. I'll ask you a couple of questions and I want answers. And please participate and answer the questions, maybe whatever, kind of questions that children ask. But just think, give yourself the acid test. If this happens with me, what would I do or what did I do? Some of us have passed that stage. What did I do? Or the youngsters, what do you think of doing? And we have Toastmaster Akib, a very, very recent parent. So what would you do, Akib, when your son starts talking and putting you in such a spot? So please share your answers. Now, if the child says, Papa, why do you and mom fight? Very simple question. Why do you and mom fight? What will be the answer?
Well, you made me think it will be really difficult to tell the real stuff because he won't be able to first digest. And even if he is able to digest, he will start learning those stuff and inheriting. So either we stop fighting, that's A, or B, we tell we were discussing on something which is not so relevant. So it's not of any importance, something of that sort. We have to cut corners because we can't tell.
All right. Anyone else who would want to take a try over this? Yes. Toastmaster Renu.
Yeah, I think how I approach this question is like we are both as different as a husband and wife, so we do have difference in opinion. So we are basically giving our opinions. We are just expressing our opinions. So at times we may raise our voice or our tone may not seem appropriate. So there we can do make our corrections, the needful corrections. But yes, we need to voice our opinions. So this is a very common household scenario. It happens very every now and then. So this is the
Yes, it
explanation
is.
that
It
I
is.
give my children.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right. Thank you.
that is it.
I'll just give my view on this afterwards. Now, if the next question is, why does that child live on the streets? Why does that child live on the street? Passing by your child sees somebody living on the streets. What answer can we give to this? Should we give an answer or no?
Yes, we should. We should educate them, give an honest answer. Yeah.
All right. Now, something more intense. If the child says, maybe something happened in school and the child says, someone touched me today and told me not to tell anyone. What do we do?
Can I answer, Jaspreet?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I would basically educate my child, which I did also, about the good touch and the bad touch. And I would always tell the child that you must come and tell me if you experience such things again. And if you're not comfortable, you have to make it clear to the person who is behaving in such a way. And you should even go and tell your teacher about it. So that's how I would put it across. Encourage the child to come and talk about something which is not, suitable to her, not comfortable to her, rather than, she keeping it within herself.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Yes, Rashi, a quick answer from you as well.
The first thing I would be wanting, to say what I'll be giving it to my child is the confidence that I'm with the child, and that he needs to be like not under any sort of a fear to share what's happening. And again, I go with Priyaji, like say is to give him to give his opinions, or to be very vocal about, to an extent to vocal. But the first thing that a child needs, because they become a bit hesitant, and at the same time many times a bit fearful. So we need to give them that confidence first of saying everything very clearly, or sharing everything what is there in their mind, so that once they're clear out of their fear, they are more into a position to handle the situation. Because once they're in the school, or once they're alone with that particular person or a situation, and definitely the education of good and bad touch has to be there, and that is why the child has already informed of, because she didn't feel comfortable about being into that particular situation. So if we impart the confidence that we are not judgmental, that we are not, that they are fearless in front of us first, then they will have the full confidence of sharing the exact situation with us.
All right. Thank you so much. Now, I'll just come back to these answers in a bit. Now, the next question, probably the most interesting, and please feel free not to answer the question. Now, if your child comes back from, after meeting a friend or something, and he says, Mama or Papa, today, Chris showed me a photograph of his parents' wedding. Now, Chris is a Christian child, obviously, the name says that. So, Chris showed me the photograph of his parents' wedding. They were kissing each other. Mama, did you and Papa kiss each other during your marriage? Now, try answering this question at the dinner table with your mother-in-law sitting across the table. Or, I don't need an answer for this, just think about it. Or, for that matter, the child asking the grandfather, Dadu, what is honeymoon? Now, what would Dadu say? So at this occasion, what happens is generally we take a deep breath, we sip water, we look here and there, and probably some of us say that, okay, we'll talk to you when the right time comes. Again, that same thing. Or worst case scenario is Papa will say, talk to Mama, Mama will say, talk to Papa. We dread these questions. We avert these questions. At times, we dismiss these questions. Do you think when supposing the father will say, go and talk to Mama, ask Mama, do you think the child, he knows Mama will play the same game with me, he will go here, go to this? When he will go here, what will happen is, there is the internet within this. And the internet does not differentiate between a child of 5 or 15 years of age. Very ruthlessly, very crudely, this will provide information wanted or unwanted. This is where we created that hollow space and something creeped in. Hence, the query comes, catch hold of the query. Now, in all these given situations, what I would say is, first of all, thank the child for asking this question. If I am fighting with my husband and the child comes and says, thank you so much for reminding, yes, I was doing something wrong. But because the child wants to understand, is this what we say love? We say we love each other within. Is this love? So making him understand that, at times certain things happen, but good, this is a reminder, we should not fight. Telling him, this is my mistake. I'm accepting. I'm going to change myself. What am I doing? Showing a mirror. This is what the child can also accept the mistake. Say sorry. Thank the other person who's pointing out a mistake and promise to take a corrective step. Similarly, a child on the street. So certain people are not that fortunate, but yes, we should do something for them. So we keep on doing this and this. You can tell the child, because you are developing a habit of caring and sharing and giving things to the less fortunate people. We can do that, isn't it? And as far as somebody touching me, that is the big, because see, when the space is created, the world is entering, that is where atrocities on children start taking a bigger shape. Because once the child starts going into the cocoon, that journey inside has started, which is a very wrong journey. So if the child comes and tells you this happened, immediately there are people who shout at the child, why this, that. Simply thank the child for sharing it. Tell the child, I'm there behind you. You did not do anything wrong. Next time, come and tell me. And there are no secrets with people outside this safe circle that we have. And the safe circle is within the family. We need to do that. We need to do this thing for the children. It is really very important because, the child wants answers. There are questions. The world is overflowing with answers. Answers which are not correct, which are partially correct, which I may not want my child to be exposed to. Why should some fact, some ugly fact come to the child in some other? I will present it my own way, the way my child can take it, absorb it. I'll share one more example over here. This is something that happened with me. Somebody told me at some point of time when my children were small. That lady told me, understand one thing. Very beautiful analogy she gave. Children are like water. Growing up children are like the flow of water. Flowing water needs space to go ahead. You cannot stop it. You feel the question has come. I'll tell you at the right time. The time is right when the question has come. That is the right time. That is the right time. Answer, because the channel has been created. It has come towards you. You will not answer. It will go somewhere else, drift away, totally out of your hands. So see to it, the query has come, the answer has to be there. And when you are giving the answer, give it in such a way that the child is settled and is able to understand. Don't we see our science books? They give facts in smaller portions, smaller chunks, according to the requirement and the acceptance of the child. So can't we do that? That is the day I realize anything that comes to me through my child in the form of a question will be answered in a very scientific manner, and then some moral, ethical value stories added along with it. Basically, I will make myself available, free for the child to sit next to him or her, both of them, and tell things to those to my children. And today they are grown up, but I being into this particular framework where I've been dealing with children all through, being the eldest cousin for my other brother, sister, cousins, their children are where I keep on, doing the same kind of thing. Today, when I became a POXO Act enabler trainer, is when I realized, Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, is it just an act, a law? The punishments, are we going to talk about that? No. My point is, why do we need to reach that level? Today, I realize how important these things are that we've been doing. So this particular session, this speech, these props, this engagement, these questions, they are one of those many attempts that I've been making to make these children safe and protected. All of us sitting over here in this room, we have something to do. Whether as a parent, find out that time where any time of the day, it's a stroll after dinner, a drive or dining table, anytime, talk to the child. Don't say what happened in school, what is the homework, how many marks. Ask what is it that you liked in school today. What is it that you would want to share with me today, which you cannot share with anyone else? And the elder siblings, they have such a superpower because your younger sibling looks up at you as, you are the cool dude. So listen to them without judgment, without teasing. If required, be the bridge between them and the elders in the family. That's very much required. And the grandparents, they don't even at times realize how much these children look upon them. They have faith and trust towards them. Your stories, your anecdotes, they do so much character building, moral values, ethical values, they get formed within the child. And all of us, can we be that adult who is there for at least one child around us? Who can make a difference in that life of that one child? Because when the child asks us something, does not want all the answers, doesn't mean we need to give all the answers. The child is checking whether we have that availability and that acceptance. So with this note, that let's talk to them before the world does, because we need to ensure a safe and happy childhood for all these children. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jaspreet, for that powerful, overloaded, with a lot of thought-provoking, words for all of us. It was such a informational speech, and thank you once again for putting it for all of us. With that, we'll move on to a quick break. So before we break, I want to put this thought in all of your mind, coming back on the theme of the day. So while you come back after the break, please have answers to these questions. That uh, the moments, a small idea that you are sitting on, that could grow into something big. So as you sip your coffee or finish your dinner, just have a thought of this in back of your mind. And who in your life started small and did something great? Just two questions. A small idea that has been sitting in your head, that could not grow, that could grow into something big, but you're not taking any action. And the second one is, who in your life started small and did something great, and maybe that might be the person you look forward to working with, or you take inspiration from them. Yeah. With that, we'll quickly take 5 minutes break. So now it's 7:48. We'll be back at 7:53. Yeah.
Yeah, can I ask one thing?
I'm putting the questions on the chat.
Yes, Rashi. Yes,
Yeah,
Rashi.
I just want to get the question repeated. I mean to say these we
Yes,
have
I'm
to
putting the questions on the chat.
so this is we have to attend it? We have
Yes,
to talk.
yes.
We
We'll
can
be
talk
saying
on it.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes, definitely. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Great. I hope all of you are back in the meeting. Yeah. Can we see more faces on the screen? I see Arish thumbs up. Can we see more faces? Can we have you all switch on your cameras? Show your beautiful faces. Great. With the interest of time, I will be moving ahead with the table topic section, but still the question stands. So please keep thinking. Post the table topic section. We'll come back to the theme with the responses from all of you. Right? To do the table, to conduct the table topic section, let me invite our table topic master. A quick introduction about our table topic master, Toastmaster Mamta. Toastmaster Mamta brings with her a unique blend of creativity and logic. She is both a graphic designer and an engineer by education. This rare combination has shaped her perspectives, allowing her to approach challenges with both imaginative flair and analytical precision. She has joined Toastmasters with a clear goal to become more confident and impactful speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster Mamta, to conduct today's table topic marathon. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashwini. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Mamta Jain, and I have the pleasure of being the table topic master for today's meeting. Welcome to the table topic session. Table topics enables a member to develop the skills of impromptu speaking. Table topics help train members to quickly organize and express their thoughts. You can think of the table topic speech as a mini speech with an opening, a body, and a conclusion. This also provides a speaking opportunity for any member who is not on duty in the meeting agenda. Guests may also participate if they wish. During table topics, I will invite a member or a guest to attempt a table topic. I will give out the topic once the participant confirms their willingness. Each speaker will get 1 to 2 minutes of time. You need to speak a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes 30 seconds to qualify for polling. Green card will be shown at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute and 30 seconds, and red card at 2 minutes. You will get an additional 30 seconds grace time to wrap up your speech. Today's theme is Tiny to Tremendous, a celebration of how small beginnings can lead to great outcomes. Whether it is an idea, an effort, or a movement, what starts small often has the power to grow beyond imagination. Let's start our table topic session. Those who are interested, please raise your hands. Rashi girl, would you like to come on stage?
Yeah, like the topic of from tiny
Tremendous.
to tremendous.
Okay, let's welcome our first speaker, Rashi girl.
I've
Here
got
is your
2 minutes time. I've got 2 minutes time.
okay.
I'm just asking, I've got 2 minutes time to speak on this.
Yeah. 1 minute to 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, here is your topic, Rashi girl. Share a tiny habit you started that led to a tremendous change in your life. Share a tiny habit you started that led to a tremendous change in your life. Over to you, Rashi girl.
Thank you. Should it be a habit or an idea? There are two different things in my life. So, with a tiny habit, I must say, on my weight loss journey, there was a tiny habit which I started, which was being suggested, of eating at a 12-hour difference during the day. So that little habit, it took a lot of time for me to develop this habit, and it was quite a task to do it, to be hungry for the next 11 hours. But gradually I developed it, and it had quite a lot helped me in maintaining, and I was controlling my weight issues. So that was one tiny habit that helped me during the day. Again, with one thing that importantly I want to discuss here is like about a tiny idea that has taken a bigger shape now. I have started a thought of empowering women, of empowering young women entrepreneurs in my city. So I had started a platform named She Will Inspire like 1.5 years back. And now, with my efforts and with the efforts of my team, we have really grown it up quite a lot and helping across the town a lot of women entrepreneurs, and it has really developed into a great idea, and more than 60 members have already joined it, and they have increased their visibility a lot and have done a lot of networking and collaboration. So, like a tiny step and a tiny idea in my mind is really taking shape, and I hope it's going to grow bigger in the course of time. So, this tiny thought and idea, what came into my mind, has now grown up and now had started growing up and taking shape towards a bigger future. Thank you.
Thank you, guest Rashi. That was insightful. Akib, would you like to come next?
Sure, Mamta, I can take up the topic.
Okay. Let's welcome our next speaker, Toastmaster Akib Javed. Here is your topic. What is one small decision you made that had a huge impact on where you are today? What is the one small decision you made that had a huge impact on where you are today? Over to you, Toastmaster Akib.
What is that one decision I made which had a profound impact on my life, right? I've been making wrong decisions and failing many a times, wherein I take a decision and it's not going in the right direction. But the one thing which kept me glued and something which has taken me to strides is the year 2020. So I got out of college in 2016, and I was an engineer with certain good gate score, and I had a job. I started working, and I always wanted to join a government institution. And I was working in private, so I would study for examination and keep writing exam. And I wrote exams 4 times. So the gate I have written 4 times, and I failed every time. Every year I get the result, I see my rank is somewhere 15,000, 10,000, 12,000. I was like, nothing is working out in my direction. What should I do? And then I realized, why am I looking for something outside? Why can't I focus in the job or in the role I am currently? That day I shifted my focus back to what I was doing, and I started working on the current roles, the responsibilities that I was having. I started learning certain analytics tool. I started learning a lot of analytics and stuff, and that has changed my whole life. I From that first job, I moved into another job which was partly into analytics, but that was a manager role, and then I shifted into data analytics. So a decision that to keep uh, why to keep working on government examination, or why to do stuff which is not in your control, which you are not able to do, accepting that failure and moving on has what helped me come forward in my life. And I think I'm way more happier than what I would have been had I got any government job at that back then. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is one quick learning that I can tell you. If you are failing somewhere, if you are attempting and it's not happening, I think it's time to move on and try looking for something else which is under your control. That might take over to you, Mamta.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akib. That was a brave response and beautifully delivered. Next, would you like to come, Prasang Mani?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Let's welcome our next speaker, Toastmaster Prasang Mani. Here is your topic. Talk about a time when a small compliment made a big difference to you. Talk about a time when a small compliment made a big difference to you. Over to you, Toastmaster Prasang Mani.
I remember when I came to my college, I was quite bad in the English. In school time, I never focused on it. I keep procrastinating. Like I had time to work on it, but I thought like it is not that important for me. So why to learn it? But when I came to college, I realized that everything was in English, and then I was quite bad at it. And then I used to feel quite low because I used to know the answer, but it was difficult for me to kind of share with teachers, other person, or when even writing the my exam paper. But the thing is, in between those times, I had friends who used to tell me that it might be true that you're not good in English. But the thing is, you have the knowledge. We have seen in the potentials, right? Because you're good in solving the problems. The problem here is the language. So they used to kind of push me, right? So that's how I used to come out of those low phases, and that's how I started learning English also. And I think over the time, initially I learned from the just from the YouTube, because when I was in the college there was no online culture. Now we have online cultures where everything is happening online, so you can join the online institute and learn things, right? But when I was in the college, there was no online culture, so I started learning from the YouTube, and then I came I came from outside from the college. I was kind of started joining the Toastmaster platform. So I was just joining as a guest because I was not having confidence to join as a member. Because once you join as a member, I was thinking I need to give speeches, take roles, and what if I do? Uh, what if I fail to do play that role? Right, I give these speeches. So because of that fear, I was not able to kind of join. So, but then I suddenly joined it, and I think uh, I've learned a lot from these Toastmaster meetings and grown a lot as a speaker. So those small compliments which I get from my friends or from these meetings, they pushes me to kind of continue learning and keep growing. Yeah, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster person. That was a great response. Would you like to come next, Toastmaster Harish? Okay.
Yes.
Let's welcome our next speaker, Toastmaster Harish. Here is your topic, Toastmaster Harish. Describe a small act of kindness that left a tremendous impression on you. Describe a small act of kindness that left a tremendous impression on you. Over to you, Toastmaster Harish.
Table topic master, you're asking me about the random act of kindness which has left me indebted with indelible impression on my mind. If I were to think of such random act of kindness, I would say which has happened right now when the table topic master chose me to come forward and attempt this table topic. Why? Because I feel that she was so kind to me, towards me, for allowing me to come and attempt this, to learn some new tricks about attempting a table topic while driving a car, which I wouldn't have experienced earlier. So such random act of kindness by a table topic master, which is nothing but the ethos of our Toastmasters, mutually supportive and learning environment. This is how we support each other, by picking, hand-picking, encouraging people to come forward and ask them to do something which they have not done earlier. Thank you for giving me this experience to attempt a table topic while driving, doing that multitasking, looking at the road, looking at the lanes, and beating the Dubai traffic, and still maintaining the course without correcting the course, on the focus, on the job, and moving forward. Thank you very much for this wonderful topic. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harish. That was insightful. Next. Toastmaster Roshni, would you like to come next?
I would love to do it, but today I'm the table topics evaluator. So if anybody else,
Sorry.
if anybody else can evaluate me, then I would be happy to take the top role. But I already have a speaking role, so why don't you give it to somebody who doesn't have a speaking role?
Okay, okay. Toastmaster Smriti, would you like to come next? Let's welcome our next speaker, Toastmaster Smriti. Here is your topic. How can a tiny word like sorry or thanks create tremendous healing? How can a tiny word like sorry or thanks create tremendous healing? Over to you, Toastmaster Smriti.
Sorry. Sorry, I can't accept your proposal today. Sorry, I can just be your friend. That's what I said to someone with whom I have spent close to 15 years now. For a Toastmaster and dear friends, sorry can be a mere word, but holds an in-depth meaning to it. I was 14 when he came and asked me out that, hey, can we be friends? Or maybe more than that. Imagine you being 14, someone asking and popping up this question. I said, no, sorry, I cannot. He approached me once again when I was 19 that, hey, can we be friends now? But now I want more than that. A best friend, rather. I said, sorry, I don't think I can. These tiny sorries were my reluctant to approach to a bigger thing. But at this point of time, when we have spent almost close to 15 years together, we sip our cup of coffee and think, what was the actual meaning of that sorry? A sorry in different phases of life changed our life today in this particular moment. This might be a fun fact, a very cliche or kind of cozy fact. But sometimes in life, the small aspect of sorry helps us. It was my personal anecdote, but I would like to convey the message that in any given instances, if you feel not comfortable about a situation, don't shy away in saying sorry and stepping out. Maybe tomorrow you have a better future ahead. So if again he asked me the question that would you like to be my friend, I might say, sorry, I cannot be just friend. I want more than that. Thank you so much. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Smriti. That was a thoughtful and an engaging answer. Mita Shah, would you like to come next? Okay, let's welcome our next speaker, Toastmaster Mita Shah. Here is your topic. If you had to start a tremendous project with only one tiny object, what would it be and why? If you had to start a tremendous project with only one tiny object, what would it be and why? Over to you, Toastmaster Mita.
My throat is not working. I have a bad throat. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, my throat is very bad.
Okay.
Not well.
You don't want to speak?
No, it's very
Okay.
bad.
Okay. Then who would, okay. Do you like to speak, Toastmaster Samita?
Yeah, you can give me a topic.
Okay. Your topic is, what is one tiny moment in your life you will never forget? What is one tiny moment in your life you will never forget? Over to you, Toastmaster Samita.
That was the day when the sky was clear, nothing to worry about. The pilots, young, dashing, very confident, walked in front of me. So did the crew. Next came our chance. So we went. I was very sure that was the day when the flight will not have any problem at all. The flight was full. We were all eagerly waiting. And you know how all the announcements are made. Yes, you welcome aboard. And sometimes you don't understand what they're saying. Not interested in what the demo was going on. I was more interested in looking at those white fluffy clouds outside. And so, the runway, the takeoff, and the beautiful clouds around me. What happens next? There were only turbulence. Those beautiful white clouds started shaking that poor aircraft. Seatbelt sign was on. But what about our hearts? It was in our mouth. The aircraft was being tossed like it was a paper plane. Seriously? Such a huge aircraft? I never thought that the wind can play havoc in that small. Small? No, I thought it was a big aircraft. That one incident, that one moment of my life where I felt I was not in control. I felt someone else was playing with me. Fear made my heartbeat go so high. And I realized life is fleeting, momentary. One small incident changes everything. Beautiful flight to frightening one. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Smita. That was a great response. Elios, would you like to come next?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, our next, let's welcome our next speaker, Elios Theophilus. Here is your topic. From tiny drops to a tremendous ocean, what does this metaphor mean to you? From tiny drops to a tremendous ocean, what does this metaphor mean to you? Over to you.
Okay. Can you hear me and see me before I start? Clear? Yes? Okay, I'll start. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, do you love raining? Or the monsoon season? Well, I'm not a big fan of rain. Even the tiny drop can hurt me. I felt mellow when there is rainy season, especially hard rain. My heart suddenly like racing so fast. Oh no! Because I was falling down to the street on the rain itself. But if you are speaking about the tiny drops itself, it's about the habits. If you're starting new habits, it will get like snowball effect. At that time, I didn't know that I should be grateful that I got the accident. So I started to writing journal. I write journal for every day, 3 things that I should be grateful for. Like, for example, just for make it easier to understand. I'm being grateful that I can smell. I'm being grateful that I can see. Or just simple, I'm being grateful that I can eat. And these grateful habits will be like the ocean. You're still starting to see the positive of every single thing. Whenever you are failing in your life, use this, writing a journal, and make it a grateful journal. I'm so grateful that I can be here tonight, even though I'm late, but I'm still here. Back to you, Mamta.
Well done. You handled the topic with the confidence. Toastmaster Meeta, would you like to come next?
Toastmaster Mamta Meeta is not keeping well. Her voice
Okay,
is choked. So, yeah.
okay. Pragya Jain, would you like to come next?
I can, but turning on the camera might be a little difficult for me.
Okay, no problem. So let's welcome our next speaker, Pragya Jain. Here is your topic, Pragya. How does something as tiny as a seed become a tremendous tree? And what can we learn from that? How does something as tiny as seed become a tremendous tree? And what can we learn from that? Over to you, Guest Pragya Jain.
Being a mother of two young kids, I think nobody knows it better. Because a seed, which is sometime in my womb, has become to be a beautiful child. And I am sure that once he grows up, he will be the tremendous, powerful tree. Now the question arises, how does it become one? I think it is about the environment that we give to the tree. When it is the right fit, they become to be powerful. When I was talking to my son around a year back, he asked me that, Mama, you always say that I have to grow up and become a big man. But I have seen that I was a teeny weeny, person in your tummy. How did I become like this? And that's when was the time to explain my 11-year-old of how it happened. But just like any other mother, I couldn't tell him the truth. And all I said was, when you were inside my tummy, you got the right nutrition, the right love, and the right environment around you. And that's why you became a beautiful child. And now, when you are into this beautiful world, the right belief, the right power, the right strength that you will be getting from me and your dad, you are going to be a tremendous, beautiful person when you are an adult. Again, a question rose. Is that all? I said, no, beta. The most important thing is the belief in you that I want to grow big. Without thinking of what can happen and what cannot, will take you to that level. So I believe that from a tree, a seed, this is the only thing we learn. Believe in yourself. And when you get that right environment, you are all ready to grow to be the most powerful version of yourself. That's how you will be created. Are you ready to be that version of yourself? If not yet, remember you have the environment around you. All you need to do is to grow from that seed to that amazing big tree. Over to you.
Thank you, Pragya Jain. A brilliant response.
Toastmaster Mamta, we can take one last topic with the interest of time.
Okay. Who want to speak? Okay. Here is your topic, Toastmaster Sunil Gupta. Describe a moment where your tiny effort led to a tremendous reward. Describe a moment where your tiny effort led to a tremendous reward. Over to you, Toastmaster Sunil Gupta.
A for apple. B for boy. K for cat. We were all taught ABCD to become a profound public speaker or an English teacher or anything. So we always start from tiny things, and we have to. I remember when I was in a private company doing a private job, I used to take and read newspapers every day, not to improve my GK, but to find recruitments in a public sector job or government job. I never missed a single paper on any day. And after 3.5 years, one day I found a caption. There is a job in a public sector company that is scale. And I attended interview. I wrote an exam, and I got that job. So think that if I have missed that newspaper, I wouldn't have been here in this public sector company. I wouldn't have got this job. So that time, those tiny things, reading newspapers and finding jobs and reading recruitments articles, brought me here. And we all start, and we are taught we should start from tiny things. Our teachers always tell us that always attend easy questions, tiny questions, not hard questions. Otherwise, you can't complete your paper, exam paper. So tiny things can only give tremendous things in your life. Take my word for it. Over to you, Tabletop Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunil Gupta. That was a brave response and beautifully delivered. What a powerful journey we have had, from tiny sparks of stories to tremendous insights. Thank you, everyone who stepped up and spoke. Whether you shared a thought, an experience, or a dream, you proved that no idea is too small, and every voice has a potential to create something tremendous. With that, I hand the control back to the Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster Ashwini.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mamta, for conducting a very structured table topic section with great questions curated by you. So, with this, I'll come back to my theme before we start with the evaluation section. So, before we went on break, I had given two questions to all of you to think through and give your thoughts. So, anyone who wants to take up, I'll read out the questions for you to just recall. Our first question was: is there a small idea you're sitting on that could grow into something big? This is one. And the second one was: who in your life started small and something great? You can talk about his or her journey or whatever you feel is relevant. Any volunteers would like to take the stage and put your thoughts? Yes, no?
Can I give it a try?
Sure, definitely.
Okay, so the small idea which I think so I'm sitting on and can grow into something big is I believe that I tell fairly good stories. That's the feedback that I have got most of the time. And I can write, you know, so I can write a book. So which I'm sitting on procrastinating and not writing. This is a idea which can lead to a nice which I can write.
Yeah, I think we see that skill of yours, Samita, in every speech that you deliver, and similarly, it was no different today. So I just wanted to personally message you and tell you that you are a great storyteller and give me tips. But good that you gave me the stage itself. So you are a great storyteller. I wish you good luck to start writing that down and bring us more stories to the spot. I see Smriti's hand raise. Smriti, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, can I answer the next question?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, that's who is in your life started small and did something great, and that's my mother. I have been, I'm raised by a single mom, so she has a huge presence in my life. One small thing which she did is by saying, "Tell me more." I was a rebellious kid when I was 12 till 20, and she handled me quite well. Whenever I'll go to her and tell her, share some crazy idea, and she'll be like, "Tell me more." And that's how the bond started growing, and it's because of her. Today, I'm quite a strong and independent woman. So that's a small act from my mom that had a huge impact on me. Over to you, Toastmaster Ashwini.
Wow, that's so sweet. Yeah, it made all of us smile, and definitely you are a strong and a beautiful woman. So great. I saw Akib's hand raise. Akib, we have time, so would you like to add anything?
Yep. The small idea that I'm sitting on is creating a YouTube channel for some of the stuff I do parallelly. So it could be a side hustle, but I've been thinking for a very long time that I take out some time and start building videos, small videos on data analytics, because that's what I'm passionate about. That's what I do for a living, right? So of course I do a job. I think side by side I can start videos and build a big business out of it. So that is one. Who in my life started some small and did something great? My elder brother. So we are three brothers, and I'm the one younger, like the youngest, and one of my brother who is in middle. He is doing great in his life, but he didn't start small. So I also didn't start small. We all did graduate, went to schools, went to colleges, and did our stuff. But our eldest brother, he didn't go to any college. So once he did his schooling, he was like, I don't want to do college and all. I just want to start my own stuff. And we didn't have much back then. We had our my father's business, which he started. That was a very small shop which helps you build your alternator, self alternator that you have in your vehicle. It was a repair cum battery manufacturing small unit. So it's not that you are scaling stuff at a very high number. It's just that you build some batteries, sell some batteries, and then you repair stuff. So that's where he started. While we went to college and we did 5 years of graduation, then came out and then struggled to get job, all the stuff. He has been building that whole business from scratch, and now he has built a kind of empire at our hometown. So he has a lot of people employed. So he's got 10 people employed in his stuff, 2, 3 jobs, and he bought a lot of land, and then he built 3, 4 houses for us while we were trying to do bigger stuff. We could not achieve what he has done while staying in the same place, while not going into any college and not doing anything. So I think that is something which we all appreciate when we sit together, because he helped us then go to college and do our stuff. We haven't achieved what he could. So yeah, this is one of the story which I wanted to share.
Yeah, thank you so much, Akib, for sharing that. That was really inspirational to know your brother's journey, and we could see how much you admire him. So thank you, and Yeah, we all, it's an inspiration for all of us who are holding to start something of our own. So thank you. With the interest of time, Saravan, we will have to move on with the evaluation section. I'll come back to you maybe at the end so you can give your thoughts. Yeah. With this, let me quickly move on to our last segment. That's the evaluation section. Let me call upon our evaluators. So firstly, I'll call upon our evaluator who will be evaluating our speaker. So we have Toastmaster Samita, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Jaspreet. A quick introduction about Toastmaster Samita. Samita change. She believes change is the only way of life, and our life reflects on that. She started her professional journey as a teacher and then chased her dreams till till now, till she was the principal of a school. But dreams changed, and now she's a soft skill trainer for graduating kids. Over the years, her hobbies have changed from batik. Okay, I'm not sure what it is. Batik and cross stitch. You can explain as what is batik. To reading and traveling. She enjoying our third pathways in Toastmaster journey. So, Toastmaster Samita, I'm sorry if I've not made justice to your introduction. It is mostly the introduction that you have written in your sentence. We will fine tune it for the future reference. Yeah. Over to you, Toastmaster Samita, to evaluate Toastmaster Jaspreet.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Ashwini. You have introduced me quite properly. Nothing to worry about. Batik is an art form which uses wax and color, and it is a hand printed material which I used to do and
Okay.
hold exhibitions on.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
Interesting.
so coming back to my evaluation of my designated speaker, Toastmaster Jaspreet. So now Toastmaster Jaspreet, as we all know, we love to hear her speak. And she always lights up the stage when she is on and she is speaking. Congratulations on finishing your project. What I loved about, let me speak first about what I loved, absolutely loved about. One is the topic. It was a burning topic. It is faced by everyone. So immediately everyone could resonate with what you were speaking. Everyone was eager to know how and what are you going to speak on it. Many a times on a topic, we are aware of what the topic is, but we would like the speaker. So here I was eager to see which all aspects of the topic you were going to touch upon. Saying that, the second thing that I loved about you, use of prop. That one school bag, taking out the bag or the books and all the other things where we miss usually. So that was a very good reminder, very good use of prop, I must say. You held the audience connected with them through the questioning that you had throughout your speech. Every few minutes you had a question. You wanted them to think. Very thought-provoking question. And I'm sure each one came up with the different answers as they seemed fit, which you woven into the correct, or I might say, a direction of thought at the end of the speech. That was very beautifully done. As a speaker, when you are speaking, the audience attention is one part that you need to take care of. Having said that, things that you need to work on first, because it's a speech. Instead of saying the child asked, you can enact it. Create a scenery, create the imagery of it's a supermarket and me and my friend, we were going and the child was there with us. And suddenly the child looks up, become the child. Use part of your screen and speak like a child. It has a greater impact. Certain places where you are speaking about your father, a small story there where your father said something, in a story format, and how did you react and how did it help you, will make your speech more gripping. These are certain places where you can work. I will not speak about your clarity and your voice modulation and all, because that you were good at and you can do it. I'll give you a challenge here, a real challenger here. Since you are into education for a long time, as in your introduction we knew, make sure that your speech is not being taught. So there is a difference between teaching and delivering a speech. So where you need to pause and where you need to stop teaching and just give the facts. That is one challenge that I am giving you. Over and all, it was a wonderful speech. Very apt topic, very well spoken. There are a few points which I have highlighted, like the element of drama, which enhances your speech. And the challenge. I'm sure in the next speech, I'm going to see you accepting my challenge. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Samita, for evaluating our speaker, Toastmaster Jaspreet. With that, we'll move on to our next evaluation segment. That's table topic evaluation. Let me quickly call upon our table topic evaluator. We have Toastmaster Roshni Banerjee taking up the role. Roshni Banerjee is the Asia editor for Australia, New Zealand Bank's economic research team. She has over 10 years of experience in the edtech and fintech domain. She's a Triple Crown winner and president of ANZ Manyata Tech Park Club. She enjoys talking to people and collecting stories and believes in making a difference through the power of words. Roshni is a neurodiversity advocate, and as part of ANZ's Ability Network, she loves to champion the cause of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Over to you, Toastmaster Roshni, to evaluate our table topic speakers.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, for that warm introduction. I know this is my favorite part of Toastmasters. Something that the introduction does not mention is that Roshni is terrible at managing time on some days because of multitasking. So I apologize that I missed the first speaker, Speaker 1. I did not hear his speech. However, I was online by the time Speaker 2, Akib Javed, started speaking. So I'll start my feedback with that. As my table topics evaluation, I was focusing on only two things. One, does the speaker have my attention? And two, were there any grammar issues or errors? And three, were there whole speech or whole performance at par with what we expect at the contest level? So I'm going to proceed at a rapid, fast manner with my evaluations. So Speaker 2, Akib Javed, your words were very honest. Your words resonated and had my attention. Now, my feedback to you in terms of getting the audience's attention would be that you need to add more vocal variety. I know that it is very difficult when we are given a topic to think and talk at the same time, but that's what table topics teaches. So if you're happy, it should show in your voice. And if you're sad, that needs to show in your voice too. So I want you to add the emotions in your voice. I know a lot of Gabbys Toastmasters are excellent at that. So let's see you get there. Let's add more emotions to your words when you speak, even when it's a table topics. The next speaker was Prasang Mani. Toastmaster Prasang Mani, your topic was talk about a time when a small compliment made a big difference to you. So my feedback to you is tell all of your friends who told you that your English is not good, that an editor is telling you that your grammar is impeccable. I could not find any grammar mistakes in your table topic speech, although you spoke impromptu, so that means you did not have time to prepare much. That tells me that your English, your language, and your communication is amazing, and I look forward to your actual prepared speeches to see how you speak during those events. With that, I would give you a very good feedback on the how you tackle the topic. You tackle the topic by telling the problems that you faced. You did not speak vaguely. You actually spoke of your personal story, which connected me to your story. So good job on that. The next speaker was Toastmaster Harish. Toastmaster Harish, your topic was describe a small act of kindness that left a tremendous impact on you. I hope you're still online, and I hope that you have reached your destination safely, because this is the first time I saw a Toastmaster taking on a table topic or any role for that matter while driving, and I really fear for your safety. But The way you use that element into your table topics, the way you put it in there, that was amazing. You thank the table topics master for choosing you and giving you the topic. However, here's where I would say my feedback is, although it adds a sense of element of humor into your table topics when you actually do something crazy and you talk about it. In this particular instance, you could have actually spoken about something very much more meaningful, I would say, because this really seemed that the structure was missing. Somehow, the question that what was a kindness that had a tremendous impact on you, and the tremendous impact wouldn't be talking while driving. So I look forward to a story which actually connects with the audience. So that's my only feedback to you. Choose a better story next time when you're trying to connect with the audience in just 2 minutes. The next speaker was, of course, our beloved Toastmaster Smriti. Toastmaster Smriti, how can a small word like sorry create tremendous healing? The way you began, the hook line, that had me. So I love how you began your story with a hook line, and your vocal variety was amazing as usual. I'm in awe of you as a speaker. You talked about a very sensitive personal story that not many people would be comfortable about. So you had my attention because A, the message was very, very clear. Now, this is where I actually realized that perhaps something missing in the previous table topics was that the message was not very clear. In your speech, the message was very clear. And I love that you managed to achieve that in 2 minutes. Thank you for doing that. My next speaker was Toastmaster Samita. Toastmaster Samita, what I love about you is your vocal variety and your expressions. You speak with your face. Your expressions are very clear. And more than your words, it's your face which captivates the audience's attention. So, amazing job on emoting through your words as well as your face. There were lots of figures of speech which tells me, yes, this is a principal. She was a teacher once and she'll always be a teacher. So great job on the language. My feedback to you would be that we need to work on your words while you speak, because some of the words at the beginning of the speech were not very clear. So I lost some of the first lines. So let's work on that. That when you're speaking, when you're adding the emotions, the words are still very loud and clear to the audience, because again, we're all online audience. My next speaker was Toastmaster Helios. From tiny drops to an ocean, what does it mean to you? Great job on doing the audio visual check at the beginning of your speech. The sound effects were fantastic. And again, like Toastmaster Smriti, they were a hook line. Great perspective about being grateful. In today's world, that's a very, very relevant and very important topic, that we need to be grateful for what we have. So great attitude. Great job on great job taking on the table topics and coming up with a brilliant idea in the short time span. I don't have any other critical feedback for you, and I will not nitpick. The next topic was given to Toastmaster Pragya Jain. How can something as small as a seed become as big as a tree? And the way you brought in the element of the motherhood into it, the way you spoke about how it relates to your child, you have my heart. Because as a mother of a child myself, I feel that yes, there are so many things we can talk about, but mothers are always good at bringing in their personal stories to add a personal touch to our speeches. And in fact, you brought it to your table topics. So amazing. Good job on that. In terms of language, your language was impeccable. The lovely story of connecting the seed to a child, you painted a picture with the words. Great job on doing that. I was with you throughout this speech and I wanted to hear more. So, look, lovely way of presenting your message very clearly and articulating it well. And you had lovely vocal variety too. I wish you were there on camera so that I could see your eye contact and hand gestures. But if I was nitpicking, like really, really nitpicking, I would say that the ending somehow lacked a punch. You started with a good idea, but the ending sentences, some of the emotions were lost in terms of being impactful. So let's work on that. Let's work on adding impact towards your punchline as well. Lastly, speaker Sunil Gupta was the table topic speaker who took the topic describe a moment when your tiny effort led to a tremendous result. Great hook line. The ABC hook line had me. Impeccable grammar as usual. And I feel that the message was very clear and presented in a perfect manner, wherein you had the audience's attention, you had the humor, the engagement. So good job. I do not have any nitpicking feedback for you. With that, over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Roshni. You brought in a lot of energy with your great feedback for the speakers, and it was power packed. So we have all had a lot of learnings from your evaluation. Thank you once again for taking up the role. With that, Toastmaster Smriti, would you like to evaluate Toastmaster Rosh? I'm sorry, the first table topic master or
Rashi
table
Garg.
topic? Yes, Rashi, Toastmaster Rashi. Or should we do this offline.
Toastmaster Jaspreet, can we do this in your PO part? Closing PO address?
Yes, why not? Yes, absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Then we'll just move on with the meeting. So that was a great meeting. So with a great prepared speech and per-packed table topic speeches. So as we come to the end of today's meeting, I hope you're walking away with one simple idea. That is, you don't need to do something massive to grow. Just start tiny and stay consistent. And consistency, one day, it'll become something tremendous. Maybe today it's just clapping for someone's speech. Maybe next time it's giving that speech. That's how growth happens, bit by bit. Before I hand it back to the PO, here's one final question for you to carry home. What is that one tiny step you will take this week towards something you care about? What is that one tiny step you will take? You will take this. You will take this week towards something you care about. I suggest you to put this question in front of your table so that this reminds you to actually think about that tiny step. And thank you all for being such a lovely and interactive audience. And it was my pleasure hosting the meeting for all of you. So I hand over the stage back to presiding officer Toastmaster Jaspreet. Toastmaster Jaspreet, over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Ashwini. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Ashwini for helping us sail through this meeting so very beautifully with this topic and her thought-provoking questions as well. Now, before I move on, I would request Toastmaster Smriti to do a quick evaluation for Rashi, our guest for the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jaspreet. Okay, Toastmaster Rashi, table topic master, you can please put that question on chat. Though I don't remember the question exactly, but let me tell few things which will no, objectify not the right word, will do justice to your speech delivery today. So Rashi, the best part which stood out in your speech delivery is the content. You were quite clear with the content and the example that what initiative which you took in order to justify the role which has been given to you. So the example was very apt. In any table topic, we always look for relatable anecdote. And your anecdote did justice to the same. If I can add one suggestion, let's try to give something to the audience to remember. What one thing you want your audience to pick in this particular meeting and implement in their life after the meeting is over. In crisp, maybe in a line or maybe in indirectly in a form of a message, you can give one suggestion or what's in it for me to the audience. But overall, thank you so much, Rashi, for attempting the topic and doing justice with your content. Back to you, Madam Pio.
Thank you so much.
All right. So I would also just add a little bit because what I felt when you were speaking. So Smriti was absolutely right that your content was absolutely clear. And what I liked was right at the beginning, you wanted a confirmation of what is it? What is it you want me to speak on? Because I can speak on both the things. So that clarification you took so that you can move on to the right direction, that was very well done. And I've heard you otherwise also. The way you speak, you have your ideas well in place that this is what I have to speak. Now, just one thing that I don't know, the timer report, I don't know. But one thing is that, Rashi, you can be a little bit compact when you're speaking. Because when we are speaking, we start letting loose the strings. And towards the end of the topic, we have to bring all the strings back together. So we should have that time that, we are going on spreading ideas. They have to be brought back, woven back together. So that if you remember that, half the time has passed now, let me start bringing things together. That would do wonders. Otherwise, it was a great table topic taken up by you. Thank you for that. I hope we could do justice to your table topic. And yes, now I would request all of you to please keep on voting side by side because that is also equally important. And now we have only one guest right now. I think it is Rashi. Rashi, your feedback, very quick feedback on the meeting. You've attended the entire meeting. What is the feedback today?
I need to speak out.
Yeah. What is your feedback of the meeting?
See, I feel it was a great meeting because, once you, the best part about it, the table topics were like focused towards one single thought. There were different perspective of that same thought, from like small to big. I mean, so I'm not getting the exact word what it was. Like, but from a tiny thought to a big achievement, or maybe growing from a small thought, growing big. So like we had different perspective of different people, and so the topic was quite enlightening, and at the same time connecting with different speakers and so insightful people like you, Jaspreet ma'am, then Samita ma'am, and Mr. Sunil, Smriti. It was really a great learning. Actually, what I got was a great learning on from everybody's perspective, and I was again, I mean to say, into that zone and a mode of thinking. The thought process, how your brain starts working, talking to each other. And the best part, what I found about today, I had a feeling that connecting in this way and listening to everybody thoughts and connecting is the best meditation what that can help anyone, connecting to such positive people with such positive vibes. That's the best part of my day. Like I had spent the best part of the 2 hours of my day today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Roshni, for this feedback. And we would want you to keep on visiting again and again.
Yes.
We want you to be there in all our meetings, because this learning should keep going on and
Yeah, that is what I want, to keep the learning going. Actually, it motivates you to keep the learning going.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, one part that we do at the Gabbys is the woes and the vows of the meeting. What went well and what could have been better. Now, let's start with the woes first. Let's take the bitter medicine first. Now, the timer, we saw that the timer screen was going off time and again. So that should not have happened. And in the initial beginning, the timer cards were not visible at the beginning of the meeting. So that is required, because we need to keep the meeting well in track from the very first part of the meeting. And the first part could be the SOA address, the PO address. Just keep on showing so that we know where we are moving ahead and all that. Now, the table topic master. Mamta, was this the first time for you as the table topic master?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So just one thing, Mamta, your topics were really very good. You did a good job. A long table topic marathon you took care of. Only thing is the topic should be smaller. Such long topics which are a sentence long, it is difficult for people to remember, the speaker to remember. So it has to be a smaller topic. It can be a phrase, but not an entire sentence. So you can cut it short. And if you need assistance, please connect with me. I'll tell you these topics also. I'll tell you how they can be cut short. Otherwise, the topics were good and the speakers enjoyed speaking. So that was the best part. Now, the Toastmaster of the day. There was a lot of background noise happening, a lot of songs and all coming. Is the Toastmaster of the day? Yes. So a lot of songs happening and this continued. So that we need to take care of, because there was a time I thought, there is somebody who's entered whose mic is on. So this we need to take care of. Now, the vows of the meeting. This is one of those beautiful meetings where every member spoke today. Every member spoke. Whether in the questions raised by the TMOD, whether in the table topic section or role player, everybody spoke in this meeting. Such meetings happen to be really very fruitful. So kudos to all of you for taking up the initiative and participating. Now, the table topic master, even though this was the first time for her, the conclusion of the section was done really very beautifully. Mamta, you did justice to it. The way you ended it after the speakers, the way you concluded it, that spoke about your dedication. That was really very well done. So congratulations to you for that. And obviously, every day we are learning something new and we are going ahead with that. So looking forward to another role being taken up by you. Now, I think we are ready with the results. Yes. And yes, thanks to Toastmasters Smriti for pitching in to evaluate Rashi Garg when we were not able to evaluate, or thanks for pitching in for evaluating, because this is something which is really very important. We cannot miss out anyone in the meeting. Okay, so today the favorite role player. Now, I don't think there are any guesses there. Favorite role player is the table topic evaluator, Roshni Banerjee, Toastmaster Roshni Banerjee. Congratulations. But Roshni, we would love to have you before time, much before time. We were expecting you at 7. We came to know you'll come a bit late. But then when the table topics had started, we were like, oh God, what is this? So just we would want to have you well in time next time. And the favorite table topic speaker. Who else if Smriti is here? Beautiful take on the topic. Very well done, Smriti. Congratulations. And auxiliary role taker. So yes, the auxiliary role taker is Toastmaster Kala, our timer, because in Thursday meetings, we don't have any other role taker. So why should the timer suffer because of that? The timer who has been there since the beginning till the end of the meeting. So congratulations and thanks Toastmaster Kala for being there throughout the meeting. Small little glitches happen here and there, but then yes, kudos to you for being there, because without the timer, the meeting goes off track. So with this, we come to an end of today's meeting. But before that, Saturday meeting, same time, 10 o'clock to 12 noon, be there. And as I told in the beginning, we are all gearing up for the Gabbys Day. We are all gearing up for releasing the newsletter on Gabbys Day. So please give your inputs for that. Be a part of that. Join this madness that we are into, the excitement that we are into, to be able to enjoy the way we are enjoying and having sleepless nights with this excitement. So with this, have a great time, everybody. And I adjourn the meeting with this. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.